Some people fear burning bridges. They worry about lost opportunities, damaged relationships, and reputations. The Sigma male thinks differently. For him, burning bridges isn't about recklessness or aggression. It's a matter of priorities, boundaries, and self-respect. He doesn't do it for drama. He does it to preserve his peace and focus on what truly matters. A Sigma male doesn't measure his life by the approval of others. He isn't dependent on relationships that drain him or systems that confine him. That independence allows him to make choices that may surprise others, including walking away from people or situations without guilt. He understands that some connections aren't worth maintaining, and holding on to them can limit growth and clarity. The decision to burn bridges comes naturally because he values authenticity over appearances. He refuses to stay in situations where he cannot operate freely or maintain his integrity. To most, this may look cold or ruthless. To the Sigma male, it's practical and necessary. He doesn't carry unnecessary weight, and he doesn't apologize for leaving toxicity behind. In this video, we'll explore 6 reasons why Sigma males burn bridges and why they don't care about it. These aren't flaws or signs of cruelty. They are expressions of self-sufficiency, clarity, and emotional strength. By understanding these reasons, you'll see why Sigma males operate with such quiet confidence and why their actions are rarely about revenge or malice. These 6 reasons reveal the core of the Sigma male mindset, a combination of independence, emotional intelligence, and inner peace that makes him unbothered by the bridges he chooses to burn. Let's take a closer look at what drives this behavior and why it's a natural extension of his personality. Reason number 1. Unshakable self-reliance. The first reason Sigma males burn bridges without concern is their unshakable self-reliance. They trust themselves to handle life's challenges without depending on others. They know that reliance on anyone else comes with limitations, and sometimes staying in a relationship or situation out of necessity can compromise their autonomy. Self-reliance allows them to walk away without fear. They don't worry about losing support, connections, or social networks because they have built their foundation internally. They know their skills, knowledge, and decision-making abilities are enough to sustain them. That confidence removes the emotional barrier that often holds others back from severing ties. In practice, this means they don't cling to relationships that no longer serve a purpose. If a friendship, partnership, or professional connection becomes restrictive, draining, or toxic, the Sigma male can disengage without second-guessing himself. He understands that maintaining independence sometimes requires making difficult decisions, including burning bridges. This self-reliance also makes them immune to manipulation. Others may try to guilt or pressure them into staying connected, but the Sigma male doesn't respond to coercion. His trust in his own judgment and capability allows him to make choices based on what is necessary for his growth and well-being. Walking away may shock others, but for the Sigma male, it is logical. He prioritizes self-sufficiency and long-term stability over maintaining appearances or avoiding conflict. That mindset is what allows him to burn bridges with confidence and without regret. Reason number 2. Emotional independence. The second reason Sigma males don't care about burning bridges is their emotional independence. They are not driven by the need for approval, attention, or validation from others. Their sense of worth and emotional stability comes from within, not from the reactions or acceptance of people around them. Emotional independence allows them to make difficult choices without fear of judgment. They don't require reassurance or external affirmation, So leaving a situation, ending a connection, or severing ties does not destabilize them emotionally. They understand that their well-being is their own responsibility, not the responsibility of others. This independence also helps them manage conflict. Instead of staying in unhealthy relationships to avoid confrontation, the Sigma male can detach emotionally and act decisively. He doesn't get swept up in drama or let emotional manipulation sway his decisions. That detachment allows him to burn bridges when necessary without lingering guilt or anxiety. In personal relationships, emotional independence ensures that he doesn't feel trapped by expectation or obligation. He can prioritize his growth and mental clarity without fearing loneliness or backlash. In professional settings, he can disengage from partnerships or networks that are unproductive or misaligned with his goals. By relying on internal stability rather than external validation, Sigma males maintain control over their choices. They don't need approval to live authentically, and that gives them the freedom to cut ties whenever necessary, without remorse, hesitation, or regret. Reason number 3: deep introspection and self-awareness. The third reason Sigma males burn bridges without concern is their deep introspection and self-awareness. They constantly reflect on their values, goals, and the behaviors of people around them. This self-knowledge gives them the clarity to determine which relationships support their growth and which drain their energy. When a connection no longer aligns with their purpose or integrity, they can walk away confidently. Self-awareness allows the Sigma male to recognize patterns in others that may lead to toxicity or wasted time. He notices repeated behaviors, inconsistencies, or manipulative tendencies and evaluates how these affect his life. He doesn't need outside opinions to validate his observations. He trusts his judgment because it comes from careful thought and reflection. This ability ensures he makes decisions deliberately rather than impulsively. Introspection also strengthens his emotional armor. By understanding himself, he can separate his emotional state from the behaviors of others. This means that even if leaving someone behind causes discomfort or anger, he can process it internally and continue without regret. Unlike people who fear social fallout or feel guilty for distancing themselves, Sigma males rely on their internal compass. Moreover, self-awareness allows him to anticipate consequences. He understands that burning bridges can provoke reactions, gossip, or social repercussions, but he evaluates whether these outcomes are meaningful or relevant to his life. If the consequences don't serve his growth, he is unfazed. That foresight makes him strategic, not reckless. Finally, his introspection creates boundaries that are non-negotiable. He knows what behaviors are unacceptable, which values cannot be compromised, and which people threaten his clarity or peace. When someone repeatedly crosses these lines, the Sigma male doesn't hesitate to cut the connection. That decisiveness stems from understanding himself, his priorities, and the importance of protecting his life from unnecessary interference. Reason number 4: mastery over external validation. The fourth reason Sigma males burn bridges effortlessly is their mastery over external validation. Unlike most people, whose decisions are influenced by social pressure, approval, or fear of judgment, the Sigma male bases choices solely on his own criteria. He doesn't need affirmation from friends, family, or colleagues to feel justified in his actions. This mastery means he isn't afraid to leave relationships or situations that are socially valued but personally limiting. While others worry about reputations or the opinions of peers, the Sigma male evaluates whether a connection contributes to his goals, growth, or peace. If it doesn't, he detaches without guilt or hesitation. By not depending on validation, he avoids manipulation. People cannot easily pressure him into maintaining connections he no longer values. Flattery, guilt, or threats of exclusion don't sway him. That makes his choices clear and deliberate. Burning bridges is a conscious decision, not a reaction to emotion or social expectation. Mastery over external validation also frees him from regret. He doesn't second-guess decisions based on what others think. Even if someone criticizes him or the social world frowns upon his actions, he trusts his judgment. That trust allows him to move forward without distraction or internal conflict. Ultimately, this independence reinforces his freedom. He can prioritize what truly matters to him without worrying about pleasing others. Relationships that no longer serve his purpose are naturally discarded. The Sigma male doesn't burn bridges out of spite. He does it because maintaining unnecessary ties would compromise his authenticity and efficiency. Reason number 5. Adaptability and flexibility. The fifth reason Sigma males burn bridges without remorse is their adaptability. They are not rigid in how they interact with the world, but they are firm in knowing what serves them. When a person or situation no longer aligns with their principles or objectives, they can pivot quickly, leaving what's no longer useful behind without hesitation. Adaptability means they can thrive in diverse environments and handle changes in social, personal, or professional dynamics without losing composure. If a relationship becomes toxic, stagnant, or obstructive, the Sigma male doesn't cling to it out of fear or comfort. He adjusts his path and moves on, understanding that stagnation threatens growth. Flexibility also makes him strategic. He evaluates each connection for value, mutual respect, and alignment with long-term goals. If a bridge is holding him back rather than supporting him, removing it is an intelligent decision. It isn't emotional or impulsive, it is the result of careful calculation. This adaptability extends to handling consequences. He anticipates reactions and social pressures, but remains undeterred because he knows he is acting in alignment with his principles. Unlike people who burn bridges and regret it later, the Sigma male's decisions are intentional and grounded in strategic thinking. Ultimately, adaptability allows him to prioritize his life's direction over temporary attachments. Relationships and connections are maintained when they are beneficial, otherwise they are left behind. That clarity, combined with emotional independence, makes him fearless about the consequences of burning bridges. He knows his path is more important than external approval or social obligation. Reason number 6. Inner peace and contentment. The sixth reason Sigma males burn bridges without concern is their inner peace and contentment. They have cultivated a strong sense of self-sufficiency and satisfaction that does not rely on others. They are at ease with who they are, what they value, and the direction of their life. This internal stability makes the loss of any external connection insignificant in comparison to their own equilibrium. Inner peace allows the Sigma male to detach from relationships or situations that are misaligned with his principles. He does not need to cling to people to feel fulfilled. Because his happiness is self-generated, he can disengage without regret, guilt, or resentment. This emotional security ensures that no bridge-burning decision shakes him at a core level. Contentment also strengthens his decision-making. When faced with situations where connections are unhealthy or counterproductive, he evaluates the value of the relationship against the cost of maintaining it. If the cost outweighs the benefit, he moves on confidently. That clarity prevents him from staying in circumstances that would compromise his growth or well-being. Furthermore, inner peace allows him to handle social repercussions calmly. Others may criticize, gossip, or react strongly to his decisions, but the Sigma male does not let external reactions disturb his balance. He is not dependent on the approval, affection, or attention of others to maintain his sense of self. This independence is what makes burning bridges a conscious choice, not an emotional reaction. Ultimately, his inner peace ensures that he remains unshaken by external circumstances. By grounding himself internally, the Sigma male operates from a position of strength, clarity, and confidence. His bridges are burned intentionally, strategically, and without fear, because he understands that maintaining his peace is more important than preserving superficial connections. Sigma males burn bridges because their choices are grounded in self-reliance, emotional independence, introspection, mastery over external validation, adaptability, and inner peace. These 6 traits form a foundation that allows them to disengage from people or situations without guilt or hesitation. What others perceive as ruthless or indifferent is actually a reflection of calculated freedom. Burning bridges is not a sign of weakness or vindictiveness. It is an expression of prioritizing authenticity, growth, and self-sufficiency. The Sigma male does not care about social pressure or the opinions of others because he is guided by his principles and personal clarity. That independence makes his actions deliberate and fearless. Understanding these 6 reasons helps explain why Sigma males appear indifferent when they cut ties. It's not about malice, it's about maintaining control over their own lives. By disengaging from connections that no longer serve them, they preserve energy, focus, and peace of mind. This approach allows them to thrive in situations where others might be weighed down by obligation or guilt. For viewers, reflecting on these traits can provide insight into personal boundaries, independence, and decision-making. Recognizing the Sigma male's approach offers lessons in prioritizing self-respect, maintaining clarity, and valuing growth over approval. It's a model of resilience and intentional living. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you observed a Sigma male making such decisive choices? Or do you identify with these traits yourself? Understanding the principles behind burning bridges can offer perspective on navigating relationships, career paths, and personal development with integrity and confidence.